afternoon. They're the door cards off the stage. They'll shortly be on eBay for sale on EA Development's eBay page. Now then, I did mention in my previous couple of vids that I was going to do another video for the rear speakers on the Skyline. So it's another sunny, gorgeous afternoon out here, and I've taken out, as you can see on the floor there, the back seat. Okay, the little bar there, the little loop, just locates in the back seat in the upright, and there's two bolts at the bottom, one there and one corresponding on the other side, and then that just lifts off. And then to unbolt the back, we've got your little locating hole there. There's another matching screw on the other side, and then this just lifts up and out, and then we can get to the rear parcel shelf. The cover on the parcel shelf, I'll show you how that comes out in a little while, so stay tuned. Right, I've taken the back of the seat off. I just wanted to show you these little tabs here. There's three of them, one there, one in the middle, just where this piece of card is, and then a corresponding one over the end. What holds this seat on is these little tabs at the back. If you've got a four-door, there's three of them, and those bits that I've just pointed out, they sit in those. They're a bit of a pig to locate because it's only those three things that hold the seat down, and the bolts at the bottom I told you about earlier on down here into those little fixings. So there isn't much that stops the back of the seat from coming forward. Now, as you can see, I've now got access to this cover which just sort of sits on there, and when I've got rid of this seat, I'll show you how that comes out. Okay, we're back in the car. I've got the seat out. This little bit at the back here just pops out loose. If I can actually get it to come out, and under there is the wash wipe for the cars that have a wiper on the rear window. One of the things to look out for actually is if that's actually connected, because if it drops water onto the connection for the Ateza computer, which is directly underneath here, as I showed you the other day. So I'm going to have to put the phone down, the camera down, and take these bits out because it's refusing to come out one-handed, unfortunately. It just normally pops out, but it's not playing, so I'll update you in a little while. Right, you may remember a little video I did some while back for the exhaust modification on the back of this car, and all this wiring down here with the blue tape on it, which controls the switch for the actuator in the exhaust. Well, I thought I'd mention this little thing here, this ADZEST, as you can see. It's something to do with the sat-nav that was in this car from new, the Japanese Skylines. I mean, this is a 1994 model, and it was loaded with a sat-nav and DVD player, television, all sorts of things that were just ridiculously expensive back in those days. So it really was a top-end vehicle back in the day. But I just thought I'd show you that from an interest point of view. Right, that there has come off. You know, the little cover that I said would come off. It just pops off. Look, you can see how it's held on in two places. You just needed to lift it, and it would pop away. But it was a two-hand job. So this is now loose. Yeah, and underneath you can see the speakers there. So I'll wiggle this out slowly and carefully so I don't damage anything underneath, and then I'll swap the speakers over. Catch you in a bit. Right, cover's out. Now if you have a look at this side here, this trim piece, it's loose, yeah, and there's nothing on the bottom here at all. Okay, have a look at the corresponding side. Yeah, it's mate over here, and it's a bit dark on the video. It may show better when it's on the computer and loaded up. But there's a little tab there, which sits in a slot on the cover that goes on top of these. The slot that's in the cover is just down there. Obviously one's broken, and that allows the thing to come out. I assume broken because I can feel bits of broken plastic down there, and I'm assuming that there would once have been a slot there. So just to be aware of, if the back of your car has never been out, that those two slots might cause a problem, and it'd probably be better to push down on those corners before you pull back on the cover, just so you don't break anything. Here's a good look at the speakers. Yes, they are knackered. It's paper cones basically, they are pretty poor by today's standards, so I definitely think these new ones that I'm going to put in will be a bit of an upgrade. So see you in a bit. Okay, new speakers are in. There we go, it looks a little bit better, doesn't it? I'm going to test them in a little while. I'll just put the cover back on. I did find, while I was working on it, this little bit of plastic, which, as I said earlier, that's the little bit of plastic that sits there, you know, the little tab. So there is definitely one on either side to hold that side trim in. Also, interestingly, I'm not sure if you can just see, down here in there is a little white plug. Now, the only thing I can think that that would be for is some of these cars on here, on this parcel shelf, they used to have a thing called a dehumidifier type of affair, like an air purifier thing. Had one in my first GTS 25S, and that's about the only thing I can think of that would require a white plug sat there like that. But yeah, I'm going to put it back together and then do the testing as required. See you in a bit.